Over in the pages of Wonder Woman and Lazarus Planet Revenge of the Gods, we've seen Diana take her battle directly over to the gods of the DC universe, including Hera. But thankfully, Diana isn't alone. She's also enlisted several characters from the Shazam property, including Mary Bromfeld and billybatson. In the most recent issue of Wonder Woman, we saw Diana get powered up thanks to some abilities from Mary, and now it's time for Diana to take her battle directly to Hera and the rest of the gods. My name is Araco Braddock, and today let's go ahead and dive into the pages of Lazarus Planet Revenge of the Gods number 4 to see how Diana's battle with the gods wraps up. But before we get deeper into the video, I want to go ahead and encourage you to consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that like button if you enjoy our content. And I want to go ahead and kick things off by reading DC's solicitation text for Lazarus Planet Revenge of the Gods number 4. The identity of humanity's mysterious ally is revealed in the action-packed finale. With an unexpected god at their side, Wonder Woman and the Amazons are ready to take down Hera and her evil machinations once and for all. But what will victory mean for the future of the heroes and villains connected to the god? And I want to go ahead and introduce this first story over in Lazarus Planet Revenge of the Gods 4. This one is called Revenge of the Gods. It's written by G. Willow Wilson, featuring art from Cian Tormey, and we have inks from Raul Fernandez and Wade von Grawbadger, colors over from Jordie Bellaire, and we have letters from Pat Brosseau. The cover for the issue is illustrated over for Guillem March. Here's a look over at Lazarus Planet Revenge of the Gods number 4. Really like the way that Guillem March kind of exaggerates the anatomy on Wonder Woman and depicts her kind of powered up fight over against Hera in this issue. And I want to give a big thanks over to Adventures in Poor Taste for posting this preview of the issue so incredibly fast. Let's go ahead and dive into some of these interior pages on Lazarus Planet Revenge of the Gods 4. Really enjoy the kind of nimble and expressive line over from Cian Tormey across this issue. And I think that Jordie Bellaire's kind of color palette really helps enhance some of the visuals across this chapter. I really like the depiction of Cian Tormey and Jordie Bellaire's kind of powered up Wonder Woman across this tale. And kind of throughout the art, it's really impressive to see just how many Wonder Woman supporting cast members that Tormey can fit over into one page. And also, take a look over at this page composition. I love the way the Hera is kind of reacting to this kind of battle that Diana is fighting against her. In these 2 pages, we can get some reaction shots from her before we see the kind of Wonder Woman characters fight back against her. And also, I really like how there's so much kind of differentiation over from the character kind of movements. You know, the way that Billy is standing is much different from the way that Mary is standing over on this page. So I really like the way that Cian Tormey is kind of able to illustrate some of the character interactions here as well. I think whenever the kind of wizard from the Shazam property is posing, it's always a kind of, mountainous and commanding pose that's so much different than how Caitlin Yarsky renders the wizard in a later story over in the issue that we'll talk about in just a few moments. So overall, in terms of some of the writing on the issue from G. Willow Wilson, well, I would say overall, I did really enjoy this finale over on Lazarus Planet. I was definitely a bit let down by how quickly the fight over between Diana and Hera concluded in this issue. I feel like in the last issue of Wonder Woman, we were really teasing an epic fight between these characters. And while we've already gotten sort of an extended fight sequence in previous issues of this series, and we didn't ultimately need one final big battle with these characters, I just feel like the kind of marketing of the issue teased a bigger confrontation than what we ended up getting in the issue. Thankfully, this issue is still full of all that fantastic character work that G. Willow Wilson has kind of lent towards all of the kind of chapters of this series. First off, I know we mentioned this last time, but I still love the fact that, Hera isn't silent when she's fighting Diana. Hera is definitely kind of opinionated and really does think that her opinion and her stance is right in this issue, and that makes watching her kind of fall from grace, even though she's lost, even though she's kind of the villain of this series. A little bit sad to go ahead and read in this chapter. Ultimately, I think she's got so much great characterization in this issue from G. Willow Wilson. Really interested to see where she goes. Also, I like the sort of emphasis on the expanded Wonder Woman supporting cast and how they ultimately help Diana take down Hera. Characters like yaraflor, Steve Trevor, and the Shazam characters have been kind of central over to this story. So watching them be able to kind of, be a part of the conclusion for Lazarus Planet Revenge of the Gods was definitely a cool touch point. Also, I really did like how they went back to exploring what happened with Eros's hand in the issue 2. The kind of cocky personality from Ares is definitely another highlight over in the issue, as is the really awkward encounter between billybatson and yaraflor that'll definitely stay in my head for months, if not years to come over in the DC universe. And I want to go ahead and talk about the second story over in the collection. This one is called A New Covenant, and it's written over from Becky Cloonan and Michael Conrad, featuring art from Alitha Martinez, inks from Mark Morales and John Livesay, and it has colors from Alex Guimaraes and letters from Becca Carey. So I want to be completely honest about this kind of second story in the collection. Due to the fact that Lazarus Planet Revenge of the Gods is able to wrap up so many different plot threads, it almost made this second story feel a little bit redundant in the issue. Ultimately, I'm not as big of a personal fan as kind of Alitha Martinez's line as I am with Cian Tormey, but I really like the kind of dedication to the source material and how Martinez is able to depict so many of the kind of Themyscira and Amazon characters throughout this issue. But I just thought that maybe if this was kind of packaged as the first story instead of the second story, it would have had a stronger effect. So while I do think a lot of the writing is good, I'm very interested to see where Nubia and some of the rest of the Amazons and, Themyscirans go. I was a little bit disappointed in the fact that this second story didn't open up the door to kind of new stories or new possibilities in the DC universe. Then again, though, that might be a tall order because moving forward, Daniel Sampere and Tom King are about to join the Wonder Woman series. I want to go ahead and talk about the last story in the collection called The Champion's Heart. This one is written by Josie Campbell, illustrated by Caitlin Yarsky, colored by Jordie Bellaire, and lettered by Clayton Cowles. So this last story is incredibly important to the issue as it's the main kind of lead up over to the Shazam title that's coming very, very soon. So I'm really excited about that. I think kind of the characterization that Josie Campbell has lent towards Mary Bromfeld across like all of these A Champion's Heart stories has been absolutely wonderful. I really like the way that Caitlin Yarsky draws both Billy and Mary as well. I think, basically the art is just so expressive and manages to capture kind of so much emotions over for these characters. Also, I really like that the tone for this story is just a little bit lighter than the main Wonder Woman series, which I think really helps differentiate some of the aspects of this book. Plus, I love the fact that this issue finally kind of deals directly with Mary Bromfeld's current status quo and then basically teases a little bit more plot details about DC's upcoming Shazam title. So if you're really excited about Shazam and want to get a little bit of a head start on where the book is going to go, you should definitely go ahead and check out Lazarus Planet Revenge of the Gods, especially this issue in particular. I really enjoy kind of the last page of the issue and think that Caitlin Yarsky has illustrated, such great expressions and page designs for some of these characters. And also, I just really enjoy the kind of tone and some of the dialogue that Josie Campbell wrote for characters like the Wizard and Mary Bromfeld across this title. So overall, I am incredibly happy with Lazarus Planet Revenge of the Gods. I think this is a great series over from DC that I'm going to be remembering fondly in the near future. Honestly, it was kind of a thrill to start with a Batman subplot over in Lazarus Planet and have it spill over to kind of the Wonder Woman characters. I think this has been a really kind of creative detour for DC. And I'm honestly sad to see kind of this creative team leaving Wonder Woman and Lazarus Planet Revenge of the Gods so soon. And we know due to the fact that there's a new Wonder Woman creative team about to board this series. So I want to know from you, have you enjoyed Lazarus Planet Revenge of the Gods? Have you enjoyed Lazarus Planet as a whole? And what do you want to go ahead and see me cover next? Well, thank you guys so much for coming to check out the video, and we'll be back really soon for more excellent comic book content. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.